All right, it's time for QB1 with Crissy, Froyd, and Trevor Lawrence is the quarterback that we're talking about in this episode. Crissy, not really the first NFL season I think that a lot of people maybe expected from a quarterback that was heralded coming out of Clemson like this. I mean, what do you make of what we saw from Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah, I think that he was in quite literally the worst situation in the league with the head coach that ended up being the worst head coach in the league. And I think between the on the field lack of help and then all the off the field locker room type of drama that seemed to exist, that's a lot for a rookie quarterback to take on going into the worst situation in the NFL. But I thought that he did show some good things. He managed the pocket well, moved within the pocket well, and did that well under pressure, which is a hard ask for a rookie, especially in a situation like this. I don't think that he took too many unnecessary sacks, but he did have the worst touchdown percentage and adjusted yards per attempt of any rookie quarterback. So there's some things to grow upon, some things to work there, but it's hard to, I don't want to say completely scrap the first season of Trevor Lawrence and all the things that were bad about it. But I think that he did a much more decent job than perhaps he's being given credit for in just such an unspeakably disadvantageous situation.
Yeah, for a rookie quarterback taking the jump to the NFL, there's so many things that you have to absorb and learn, not only the playbook, but just how to conduct yourself as a professional. It's an entirely new experience. For rookies coming in to have an organization as disorganized as what we saw last season with, like you said, a head coach that was, by all accounts, a disaster. That must affect a rookie quarterback so much more than, say, a veteran that might be stepping into a situation that's not set up ideally, but at least they have some reps under the belt that they can manage and kind of know the ins and outs of the league and how it works. For a rookie, that just seems like such a disadvantage coming in for a quarterback that, was touted as talented as he was in college.
Yeah, I think that Trevor Lawrence showed us a lot in college that there's still to be excited about at the next level. I think this is a quarterback who, especially during that national championship game against LSU where Clemson fell short, really showed us just how mobile he could be on top of being from a physical prototype basically built in a lab as far as what you would want from a quarterback in that aspect. And from time to time, you would get locked on one read. But outside of that, this was a quarterback that some people were referring to as a generational talent. I think he's got to make a really big step to prove that. I think when we look at generational talent and look at someone like Joe Burrow that we call that upon, who also went into a bad situation but made a little bit more of it, though that they're not identical situations, we can't really look at Trevor Lawrence and go, this is a generational talent until he's able to prove it. But I think that he has everything in his toolbox to do so. And I think that, 2022 has the potential to be a breakout season for him. And if not, is defining in some senses, even though Jacksonville still has a lot of work to do.
You said there was some good things that we saw despite what a train wreck really the whole season was for the team. What steps, what jumps do you expect him to make in this second year specifically with his game where you might look and go, oh, okay, I see market improvement in X category?
Yeah, I think maybe he'll just get more comfortable. The game slows down a lot more for him. I think he's going to find the end zone a good bit more. And once you go through really, I'd say, worst case scenario is what Trevor Lawrence has put through last year. I think mentally you're prepared for just about anything, and the bar is quite literally on the floor as far as the situation goes. So I think that even if it's a moderate step forward, that there's only positive things in store for Trevor Lawrence in 2022.
Can a quarterback become a generational talent in one season or two seasons, Crissy, or does it really take a larger sample size than that for people to go, oh, okay, you know what, this, Joe Burrow is a once in a lifetime sort of guy. He's up there with the best of the best.
Yeah, I think that part of it boils down to what did they do in college and how did they lead their team to new heights in college. And I think that Trevor Lawrence obviously did a very good job of managing Clemson. So he's got that part of the equation down. But it's also how well do you take a team that is just really horrible and then elevate them the way that Joe Burrow was able to do that? And how much can you do in your own right to make a team better? And then, with a generational talent, I think you can kind of differentiate how much of a team's issues are on the team itself and outside of the quarterback's control. And then what is this quarterback doing in spite of that? So I think that in the next two seasons, we're going to get more of an answer to that. It might take a little bit longer than that, but I think it's definitely still a work in progress as far as answering that question goes.